Friends, we all know that the institute has come out with a new syllabus effective from 1st of July 2017. Yes, the subjects have changed, the contents have changed, the number of papers have changed. One important thing which has changed along with all these changes is the way in which the students will be evaluated in the examination. For the first time, institute has defined the skill sets that are tested in the examination. So let's understand what these skill sets mean and how will it change the way in which examinations are conducted. So if you look at the foundation course, the institute will be basically testing two levels of skill set. One, the comprehension and knowledge, and two, the application. We will understand what each of these terms mean as defined by the institute. If you move on to the intermediate course, again there is something called comprehension and knowledge, and the level 2 skill set which will be tested is analysis and application. So friends, just see the difference. At level 1 it was comprehension and knowledge and application. At intermediate it is comprehension and knowledge as well as analysis and application. Analysis was not present in the foundation course, right? If we move to the final course, what we can see is comprehension and knowledge will be tested, analysis and application will be tested. In addition to it, evaluation and synthesis will also be tested. So these are the three different levels of skill sets that will be tested at different levels of the CA examination. So if you look carefully, the weightage of comprehension and knowledge is very high at foundation level, moderate at intermediate level, and very low at the final level. Similarly, analysis application is high at the final level and at the inter level, and it's the only application part what will be tested at the foundation level. This knowledge, analysis, application, what does each one of these mean? So institute has come out with a clear definition of what each of these skills mean in the context of the examination. So first skill set what we discussed was comprehension and knowledge. So what do you understand by comprehension and knowledge? So the skills that will be tested here is defining, enlisting, explaining the concepts, provisions and theories, which means institute will be basically testing the understanding of the student, whether the student has understood the concept or not. It could be a simple definition in the exam, it could be a simple explanation question in the exam, but the objective of testing comprehension and knowledge is whether the student has understood the concepts or not. So the question may be like, list down the various advantages of accounting standards. Explain the concept of inventory valuation. Classify the following items into operating activities, investment activities, financing activities. So in short, this will basically test the pure and basic knowledge of the students. As we move forward to the next level of skill set, which is called the analysis and the application part. Application would mean applying the concepts or the provisions or the theories in solving certain non-complex scenarios. Meaning, we have understood the theory. How can we apply this theory in the real life examples or in the questions whatever has appeared in the exam? So let's say it will not ask you define intangible assets. Rather, it will give you a case where you need to apply the definition of intangible assets and identify whether the specific asset meets the criteria of intangible assets. Analysis would be applying, comparing or analyzing the concepts, provision and theories in solving moderately complex scenarios. Application is non-complex scenarios. Analysis is moderately complex scenarios. So basically both of them almost mean the same, but just the thing that the scenarios will be non-complex in case of application, moderately complex in case of analysis. So what could be the thing? It could be like compare and contrast. It could be calculate the depreciation part. It could be examine the benefits of certain systems and processes. Analysis would include deciding, solving, advising. So it's not just arriving at an answer of a particular question. It is actually deciding whether to invest in company A or invest in company B, right? It might include preparation of some reports for the management and many things like that. The third skill set level, which is evaluation and synthesis, would include integrating and assessing the provisions, principles and theory to resolve complex problems and issues. So basically what would be tested here is the third skill set of evaluation and synthesis would be involved in testing complex problems and issues. So it's basically a higher level of application. Here also you have advising, deciding, evaluating, recommending and things like that. So so the examination could be examination question could be like they might give a case where a company has to decide upon investing in, let's say, one of the 3 projects given in the examination. You should actually evaluate each of the projects and then give a recommendation and a justification for the recommendation as to which of the projects should be selected for investment. So friends, these definitions look very fancy, and this is the first time it has come to our CA course. But if you just have a look in a simple manner, the first level is basically understanding the theory. The second level of analysis and application is actually applying those theory to either a non-complex problem, that's a simple problem, or a moderately complex problem. At the third level of evaluation and synthesis, you should actually go out and apply those principles, theories, provisions, case studies to complex problems which would be more likely aligned with the real life scenarios. How would you apply a certain provision to a real life case? It's not that institute is not testing these things currently. Even in the current examination, you have to, you get questions like decide, which option should be chosen, what should be the decision in the following case and things like that. It's already there. But for the first time, they have defined that, okay, so much of percentage will be comprehension and knowledge. In this particular subject, so much of percentage will be analysis and application, and so much of percentage will be evaluation and synthesis. So testing of theory and understanding will be very high at the foundation level, moderate at the intermediate level, and very low at the final level. On the other hand, application and analysis will be very high at the final level, moderate at the intermediate level, and low at the foundation level. So having understood all these things, having gone through whatever the institute has come out with this new framework, which is more aligned to the global standards, what we can conclude is the era of rote learning will not work. You cannot buy hard things and go and appear in the exam and pass the exams. You must be actually have understood whatever the provisions are and then apply them to the questions or the scenarios given in the examination. Also, interestingly, Institute has introduced case studies for some of the subjects like strategic cost management and elective papers. So the application of the theories to case studies will become more relevant. So friends, we will wait for the practice manual and sample exam questions what the institute will be releasing in some time. But till that time, please understand that the way in which the exams are being conducted will undergo a definite change. Thank you.